Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Macon-Bibb County Pre-Commission meeting acting as the committee of the whole. Today is Tuesday, April the 18th, 2023, and the time is now 4:03. I'd like to welcome everyone here to our meeting today. We do have several items on the agenda, but we have an executive session that we'll be going into first. So at this time, I'd entertain a motion for executive session for consultation with county attorney or other legal counsel to discuss pending or potential litigation, settlement claims, administrative proceedings, and all other actions allowed by law. This time, I entertain a motion to go into executive session. Motion by Commissioner Bronson, second by Commissioner Wynn. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries, and we're now in executive session. get a motion to come out of executive session? Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Clark, second by Commissioner Howell. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. Thank you very much. We're now out of executive session. We're going to move on to item 2. 2A is approval of minutes from April 4th, 2023 meeting. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Clark. We get a second? Second by Commissioner Wilder. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda. Items 3A, B, and C are all alcohol licenses, and they've all have been reviewed by our attorneys and be recommended approval on each one of them. We'll take them separately. The first is the Brick House Pub and Grub, LLC, located at 458 2nd Street. New business replacing the original business that was there. And it does meet all the legal and statutory reasons for approval. They have submitted their certificate of good standing. At this time, legal recommends approval. I have a motion to approve. Can I get a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and be sent to consent agenda. Item B is the Backport Lounge located at 2520 Riverside Drive. Same recommendation from legal, recommends approval. They've also submitted a good standing letter that's attached. Is that still your recommendation, sir? Okay, we still have the recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion by Commissioner Wynn, second by Commissioner Wilder. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item C is a FAM Food Mart, DBA Marathon, located at 3701 Pinona Avenue. As you can see that business there on the screen. Legal recommends approval of this one as well. They made all legal and statutory requirements, and they do have a certificate of good standing attached. Do we have a motion to approve? A motion by Commissioner Jones. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Howell. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. Appropriations, item 4A is an ordinance to authorize the appropriation of up to $500,000 in American Rescue Plan Act funds to DePaul, USA, for the purpose of responding to the negative economic impact of the public health emergency by providing emergency assistance to individuals experiencing homelessness in Macon-Bibb County. At this time, I'd Mayor Pro Tem Clark.
I'd just like to be added as a sponsor and make that motion too.
Yes, sir. Same with Commissioner Bronson? Okay. We'll name everybody who wants to be a sponsor. At this time, I'll ask Sister Teresa and whoever else is with your organization to come forward. First of all, identify yourself into the microphone and who's with you today, and we'll talk just briefly about this project and see if there's any questions.
Okay. Sister Teresa Sullivan, the director of Daybreak, and I have my magic workers, Adrian and Jacqueline Duncan, who are our case managers at Daybreak, and we have our board members, Kay Gerhard and Jeff Batcher, and then we have Terry Wilson, who's from Daybreak with us today.
Thank you. And can you tell us just a little bit about the project? I think everyone is well familiar with the project that's going on just outside Carroll and Creighton Park next to Daybreak. That we're very excited about the groundbreaking that was held there. And we have a lot of good affordable housing coming there, as well as a respite and some other things there. So can you tell me a little bit about what this money would go to help for your organization?
Well, thank you so much for letting me be with you today. As director of Daybreak, I'm also a nurse who has worked in the hospital scene and administration and outreach, and I have dealt both sides with the issue of homelessness. For the last 10 years, Daybreak has cared for over 10,500 people. Last year alone, it was 1,800. And you know, we do food and laundry and showers, but we also have a clinic. And that clinic provided 3,500 visits, anywhere from nursing visits to mental health to doctor visits to dental. And as I look at what we do, one of the gaps we have seen is in housing, affordable housing. As great as they are in case management, if there ain't nowhere to go, they're not going anywhere. And also in the medical care, people that are too sick for a shelter and not sick enough to be in the hospital. And so we try to kind of patch them together as we work with the other agencies, but people are literally falling through the cracks. And so what happens is the medical respites, there's about 160 nationwide, are geared at taking people who are coming out of the hospital and would normally go home to home health, but have no home to go to. And working with them not only on their medical care, but also on their social issues and moving into housing. So this will be an 11-bed unit, which will hopefully help people get on their feet and move into housing. Case management is a key factor of this. Right now, we have 3 people in the last month who've taken about 6 trips to the ER, to the hospital, so they get discharged. We try to keep them stable. We call EMS. We send them back to the hospital. And there's just this circle, which is economically not good for any of us, but it's also not getting someone back to their maximum. I just noticed, who was it that was in the sling? How much home health and how much therapy and how much was needed to get that arm back to where it should be. And so we really try to work with them. Our budget is going to be $475,000, and we are asking the city, your money would help support the operations of that budget as we go into the first 2 years. And I'll stop there and see what questions you have.
Thank you, Sister, for that explanation and for all that you do for our community. I think, Commissioner Watkins, did you have a question, or do you want to be added as a co-sponsor?
Great work. Glad to see it happening. Really excited to see y'all moving on this project. But no, I want to be added as a co-sponsor.
Yes, sir, we'll do so.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Commissioner Bronson?
Not so much as a question, just more so want to say thank you. I have an opportunity to come in and volunteer with you on multiple projects. This is one that I definitely recommend that all the commissioners jump on and support, and just continue to move us forward. There are so many entities that we have that are out there working, and this one here hits home, hits the heart of Macon. So thank you once again for everything that you're doing to your staff.
And thank you for coming down. Our people said, he cares about us. We are part of the community, so you're all welcome to come anytime.
And Commissioner Lucas?
Yeah, I'm glad y'all think he cares about you, but we do. We do as well.
I know you do.
And we're gonna and we're gonna show it by our vote on this tonight. I remember years ago when community development money was used to do the roof. And that's been a long, long time. I do remember that because I was serving as chair of that community development committee at that time. And we were pleased to do it because that's what this money is for. It's coming back because we have some situations that we need to deal with, and we need to remember, as we've said several times on other issues, this is all of our money. It's just our money being sent us and used for specific things. So I wholeheartedly endorse this, and I'm happy to sign on as a co-sponsor.
And thank you for yours. One of the things I love about Macon is how the community works together, because it takes all of us to solve these issues.
Thank you. At this time, I entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Commissioner Bronson. We have a second. Second by Mayor Pro Tem Clark. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you. That motion carries. Will be sent to our consent agenda tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're going to move on to item B. Item B is an ordinance regarding the Macon Transit Authority. And this particular motion will be sponsored by myself, Mayor Pro Tem Seth Clark, Commissioner Lane Lucas, Commissioner Watkins, as well as Commissioner Bronson. If anyone else would like to be a sponsor of that, please let Ms. Ross know. This is an ordinance of the Macon-Bibb County Commission to authorize the appropriation of up to $375,000 in American Rescue Act fund to the Macon Transit Authority for the purpose of responding to the negative impact to the public health emergency of maintaining public transit and paratransit services for individuals in Macon-Bibb County with limited transportation access, and by maintaining bus fare rates at current levels, and they will not be raised. This is monies that we'll pay up to $375, and we will receive monthly reports beginning at the end of July of this year, which is the next fiscal year, of the ridership, and Bibb County will be cutting a check to the Transit Authority for those riders, so they will not have any fare increase, and that will cover everywhere from July 1st of this year to June the 30th of 2024. This is something that we've heard from people here, although it's out of our direct responsibility with the Transit Authority. We are a funding source for them. This will ensure that there will be no fare increase, which I see a sign in front of Commissioner Lucas over there, and many people have signed on this. So this time I entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Commissioner Lucas. Can we get a second? Second by Commissioner Tillman. Commissioner Tillman, you want to be added as a sponsor as well, sir? Thank you. We do have a motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda tonight. If it passes tonight, everyone can say there's no fare increase. We're going to move on to item 5A. Item 5A is a resolution authorizing the mayor to approve the issuance of a purchase order to Interceptor Public Safety Products for the purchase of sheriff vehicle equipment in the amount of $193,206.16, payable from the Capital Improvements Fund Sheriff's Vehicle line item. At this time, I entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Commissioner Wilder, second by Commissioner Wynn. Any questions? Hearing no questions, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda. Item B is a resolution authorizing the mayor to approve the issuance of a purchase order for the purchase of the Zetron call-taking system to be used by E911 for call and dispatch management in an amount of $475,519 payable from the 2018 SPOS funds, public safety and other. And with a motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Wynn, second by Commissioner Jones. Any other questions? Hearing no questions, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda. Item C is a resolution authorizing the issuance of purchase order for the annual maintenance fees for the Tyler New World ERP in the amount of $143,881.64, payable from the IT department budget for software licenses and maintenance. That is my motion. Can I get a second? Second by Commissioner Tillman. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda. Item D is a resolution to authorize the mayor to execute a change order to the purchase from Macon Communications the amount of $36,753.96 for the purchase and installation of upgrades to the alarm systems and cabling to the fire stations to be paid from the 2018 SPOS funds public safety fire station. I get a motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Bronson, second by Commissioner Jones. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda. Item E is a resolution to authorize the mayor to execute a change order to independent contractor agreement, Macon-Bibb County Neighborhood Works, whereby Macon-Bibb County will provide funding under the Home Investment Partnership Program in the amount of $35,918 for the completion of renovations at 1320 Duncan Avenue under the Home Investment Partnership Plan. That's a lot to be said. Anyone have any questions on that before we take a motion in a second? Okay. Ms. Jackson, if you don't mind coming up to the microphone. If you just give a brief explanation about that and what we're doing here tonight, I appreciate it.
Good evening. With this particular project, this is an affordable project that's being done through our home funds. And with our home funds, this will actually be a rental unit that will be done on Duncan Avenue. It is a rehabilitation with regards to this particular project. And so once we move forward with regards to this, that this will be the last phase as far as completing the renovations that are required for the dwelling.
Okay. Any other questions from Ms. Jackson? At this time, I entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Commissioner Lucas. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Wynn. Excuse me. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda. Item 6A is a solar panel deployment. Item A is a resolution to establish priorities and goals with respect to the deployment of solar panels on county facilities through 2024, and this motion was requested by and sponsored by Commissioner Paul Bronson. Mr. Bronson, you want to make any comments on that regard, sir?
And action. No major comments, sir. I just feel that we need to be more intentional and effective in the resources and the funding that we have that's allocated out, and just kind of make sure that we're putting things on the timelines, make sure that the jobs and missions that we have are getting completed. So that's all I have for that.
Okay. Commissioner Bronson asked for this. We did have a training about a month ago, or education about all the benefits and the ins and outs on these particular solar panels, and these are areas that Rob Riles, who's our facilities, has also recommended on that behalf as well. So this time we'd entertain a motion for approval.
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Bronson. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Lucas. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and be sent to consent agenda. Item 8A, is that right? 7A, I'm sorry. A resolution to approve the 39th Amendment to the 2018 SPLOSH project timeline and budget as presented by the SPOS project manager. You should receive all that documentation regarding this particular item. If you have any questions, please let us know at this time. If not, we'd entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Commissioner Wynn. Second by whom? Second by Commissioner Jones. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda. Item B is an ordinance to authorize the appropriation of up to $830,000 from the 2018 SPOS proceeds for the purchase of up to 200 portable radios for fire department and sheriff's office. Can we get a motion to approve? Who said that? Motion from Bronson, got a second by Wilder over here. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. This time, we're going to move on to item 8A. This is a request by Commissioner Valerie Wynn and honoring James Allen Hickman. I know we'll do this again at 6 o'clock as well if we need to. And this is the ordinance to dedicate that portion of Millerfield Road running between Sherlin Drive and Jefferson Road in honor of James Allen Jim Hickman, recognition of his many years of service to leadership in Macon-Bibb County, appropriation of amount not to exceed $500 for the general fund to the facilities management budget for the purchase of material and memorial signage. I do know we have a friendly amendment to this one that Commissioner Lucas would like to make, and I believe Commissioner Wynn has discussed that with her as well myself. So at this time, Commissioner Lucas, would you like to make that?
You,
Okay.
okay, I was real pleased to see this happening in District 3, and I'm going to ask to sign on as a co-sponsor on this. Jim Hickman was a valued employee, a very big supporter of golf in Macon-Bibb. A lot of folks over on the east side remember him fondly. The biggest thing that he did, and most important thing, is he encouraged young people, especially young black men and women, to be involved, to get involved in golf. And so many of the, and a number of the young people went on to receive golf scholarships. And working with the Northeast Raiders and some of the golfers, the adult golfers there. So it's a pleasure for me to sign on as a co-sponsor. I would like to offer a friendly amendment to this where, and I don't have it in writing, I know somebody will get it in shape for me. Where the ordinance says to dedicate a portion of Millerfield Road running between Sherling Drive and Jeffersonville Road, I would like to amend it to say running between Sherling Drive and Jordan Avenue, which is a shorter distance. Millerfield Road is like a half mile long, and in the past 30 years that I've represented that area, and more recently the folks at Mount Moriah Baptist Church, which is in the next block from the one that we would designate with that change. The members of that church, including former the late Commissioner Edwards' widow, still attend church there, and they have expressed an interest in having a portion of that particular section of Millerfield Road designated in honor of the late Commissioner Lundsey Edwards. And so, and then going farther down Millerfield Road as you approach Jeffersonville Road, there was a young girl who was run over, who was killed down where New Clinton Road runs into Millerfield Road. And there is a crosswalk, very visible crosswalk there. And her mom has asked that we put something in that spot so that people will remember and maybe be safer in crossing there and maybe save some other children's lives. So for that reason, because those folks have expressed the interest in having those other sections designated, I would like to ask to amend this to say between Sherling Drive and Jordan Avenue.
Okay. We'll take that as a friendly amendment. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Bronson. And Commissioner Wynn, you're recognized.
Sir, thank you, Commissioner Lucas, for those kind words. I wanted to say that Jim Hickman's widow, Lynn Hickman, is here in the audience with us today. Lynn, thank you for coming. I wanted to say that I thought this is an appropriate recommendation here because Jim Hickman was a big part of our community in many ways, but he was a big part of the golf community. He was a good man. He was a good person. He took care of the community. Commissioner Lucas alluded to the fact that he would teach anybody. He would teach people from 6 to 60 or even older, the young, the old, the people that couldn't afford to come. He would help them. If someone came to Jim Hickman and said, I want to learn how to play golf, or I want help in my golf game, Jim Hickman, I think, never turned him down. Jim Hickman was a friend of mine, a friend of my husband's who's a big golfer, and I ran into Jim quite often, and he's so funny, Lynn, I have to tell you this. He would say, hey, Miss Wynn. I never knew if he just didn't know my first name or he just wanted to call me Miss Wynn out of respect, but we had conversations there. But he was a valuable part of our community, a good man, good golfer, and I think that this community has a few people in it that need to be recognized for their contribution to this community because a lot of people in this town play golf. He actually worked at River North too for a while, and he was associated with Mercer University. He received an award from NAACP, the local chapter, for working with young black children here in the community. So I think it's appropriate to like, and we're happy to share a portion of that Millerfield Road because when I went out and looked at it, I thought, this is a pretty long piece of road, so we'll just share a piece when Commissioner Lucas asked me about that. So I wanted to say that we are glad to have you here, Lynn, and we appreciate all your husband did for this community. We're sorry for the loss to this community, but this is the least we can do to honor him, and it will have his name on signs there at that area.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Jones?
Yes, sir. I want to be a co-sponsor as well. I had the privilege of knowing Jim Hickman and Lynn is a dear friend. We worked in the same office for many, many years. I recently moved my license, but a true prince of a guy. If you ever wanted to see anybody who treated everyone the same, he didn't judge anybody by skin tone or anything else. He treated everyone the same, and he was just a great American, and it was a privilege to know him.
Thank you, Commissioner Jones. This time we go ahead and take a vote on the friendly amendment. Commissioner Lucas? Yes.
Yeah, I had one more thing.
Okay.
I mentioned this to my husband this morning, and he was really excited about the idea. He knew Jim very well. Jim gave him a few little golfing pointers. He also, I think that encouraged him to stay out there all day long on Sunday chasing that little white ball. But my husband suggested something in addition to the section there being named in his honor, and he suggested Jim Hickman Plaza, the parking area has been redone over the last several years, and he was suggesting possibly some kind of designation or sign or something as golfers enter that would let them know who Jim Hickman was, and even those who didn't know him could be able to read about him. So I just wanted to make that suggestion to maybe Parks and Recreation as another way of remembering Jim Hickman. Jim Hickman was around, I think, during the time, or he might have come after, but Bowden at one time, black golfers learned to golf, but they couldn't play. They were caddies. And I think he had something to do with pulling them in when they went through that time when they said, we can caddy, but we can play too. I think he was associated with the black golfers out there who hold him in high esteem still. So I wanted to add that and ask that we let Parks and Recreation work on that for us.
Thank you, Commissioner Lucas. We'll address that at the appropriate time as well. I do want to thank Glenn for being here today. I had the pleasure of going to the Sports Hall of Fame here recently to the state recognitions, and where your son did an excellent job of accepting the award on behalf of Jim Hickman and spoke so eloquently about him. And we certainly appreciate all the time and effort that he spent out there, especially with our young golfers, to make sure that everyone was enthused and learned how to play the game. And I know he had a passion for it, and it's something he always have. So thank you for being here tonight. We're going to go ahead and take a vote on this, and then we'll take the regular amendment as well. So this is only in regards to the friendly amendment. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. Now we'll go back, go to the regular amendment, the regular resolution itself, item 8A. Can I get a motion to approve? Commissioner Wynn got a motion to approve. Commissioner Lucas, Lucas got a second. Jones, whatever, third. Any discussion on that? Any other comments on Mr. Hickman? Hear no comments. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you. That motion carries unanimously. Be sent to consent agenda. Thank you for being here tonight. We're going to move on to an update to the Policies and Procedures Manual. Item 9A, this is the ordinance to create a new section 6.13 of the Macon-Bibb County Government Policies and Procedures Manual entitled Care for MBCG Equipment, so as to provide procedures for the recovered value to the county that is lost, damaged, destroyed, or taken through the willful misconduct or gross negligence of employees. At this time, I'll ask our attorney, Sarah Davis, to give us a little bit more information prior to our vote.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I wanted to bring this before you on the request of administration because we have had in some departments employees leaving employment with the county and taking a lot of their equipment with them, sometimes in excess of $2,000 as they leave. And so we're adding this portion to the Policy and Procedures Manual to be able to either get that back immediately or have some way to withhold funds from their last paycheck to recoup that cost to us.
Thank you for that information. You heard the explanation from the attorney. Can we get a motion to approve? Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Clark. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda. Commissioners, the time is now 6 o'clock. Would you like to adjourn this committee meeting and move right into commission? Okay. We will do that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Macon-Bibb County Commission meeting. Today is Tuesday, April the 18th, and we'd like to call this meeting to order. We're going to begin our meeting like we always do with our call to order and then our prayer by Pastor E.J. Durham of Covenant Church of Christ. Pastor Durham, if you don't mind coming forth to the podium. Good to see you again. I did receive your email, sir, so I look forward to having a conversation with you very soon. Those of you standing will, please stand and bow your head, and that'll be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to see another day. We thank you, Father, for your grace and mercy carrying us to this moment in which we stand. As we've gathered today to give our contributions to society, Father, I pray that you would look over every member of this committee. I pray, God, that you would lead and guide with all wisdom, that success and progress may come forth from this meeting on tonight. That as the meeting concludes, that it ends in peace, harmony, and progress. In the matchless name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. We do not have any announcements or presentations tonight. We do have approval of the minutes from the April the 4th, 2023 meeting. This time, I entertain a motion for approval. Motion by, who's that? Mr. Jones? He's still alive over there. I need a second by someone. Second by Commissioner Lucas. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. We have public comments on agenda items. Mr. Horton, I see you back here tonight. Appreciate you being here. We did take a vote earlier, and we agreed to not raise the fares and help fund the Macon Transit Authority. You still like to address it, or are you just going to agree with that? No pressure.
Yeah, I want to address it.
Okay. Don't talk yourself out of a good vote now, but go right ahead. To help, yeah.
Mr. Horton, right here, right here. You hear my voice? Come this way. All right, and what? You gonna walk into the podium back? Turn this way. Turn this way. There we go.
Oh, I went past this.
Yeah, there we go.
Mr. Horton, good to see you again, sir. Thanks for being here tonight.
I figured. Thank you,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I figured since I come down here and I ain't gonna say raise Cain.
Nah.
I figure I should stand here and thank you guys for taking this situation seriously and finding a way to make it right. Public service is a blessing. I've done public service, and serving and protecting is something that you do when you're in law enforcement. When you see someone stopping cars, when traffic lights are out, that's a service to the community. It's a hard service because when you see someone standing in the middle of the road directing traffic and they're not smiling, it's because they're hot. Their feet are hot. Patent leather does not work well on a hot pavement. And so, but it's a necessary service, just as when you guys are appropriating money to keep City of Macon going, you're providing a very good service to the community. Today, with your vote, you not only served, you protected. You protected those people who cannot protect themselves. SSI benefits are about $900. I rounded it down to $900 because I'm terrible at math. But according to how you should divide your money, 30% of your money should go towards your living expenses, your rent or mortgage. With $900, that's about $270. We know people can't live like that. And about 15% should go to your food. And 15% out of 900 is about $135. You know, people can't eat that way. 10% should go to utilities, which is about $90, and we know people can't live that way. So what you have done was not made it so that $900 can go further as far as those expenses, but you made it better for people who pay $900 so that they can pay to other stuff they haven't even mentioned medications. So I would like to publicly thank you guys for your diligence in working to solve this situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Horton. And Ms. Glover, do you want to adopt those comments, or you got your own comments? All right. All right. I hear you. He'll try to. You better watch him. Ms. Jackie Glover, thank you for being here tonight, and we'll hear from you regarding the Macon Transit Authority as well.
Yes. First of all, I'm glad to be here, and I thank y'all for doing this. As Mr. Horton just said, there are a lot of people who could not afford that. And with you doing that, you have helped them. Now, as he did, he helped people too, but I still do this. I am legally blind. I work and help a lot of people that are legally blind. I've even had to help them find housing, ways to pay for things and everything. So these people needed this. And we want to thank you for listening and working towards getting that accomplished. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. Commissioners, this is on the consent agenda, so I don't know that we have anybody in opposition of it, so it's okay to do all this as part of the consent agenda, or you want to vote separately on that item? On which one? Hickman? Okay. Both of them? Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and do the consent agendas for items A through 0, with the exceptions of the Macon Transit. We'll vote separately on that, as well as the honoring of Jim Hickman. So this time we entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda. Motion by Commissioner Wynn. Do we have a second? Second by Mayor Pro Tem Clark. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. And then we're going to start with the ordinance regarding the Macon Transit Authority response to the negative impacts of the public health emergency, sponsored by almost everyone on the commission. This time we entertain a motion for approval. A motion by Commissioner Lucas, seconded by Wynn. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. And we're going to move on to item N, which is an ordinance to dedicate the portion of Millfield Road as previously amended at the previous meeting in honor of Jim Hickman, recognition of his many years to service and leadership to Macon-Bibb County, appropriation amount of $500 not to exceed. And the amendment says from Sherling Drive and Jordan Avenue. This time we entertain a motion for approval. Got a motion by Commissioner Wynn. Do we have a second? Second by, I'll let y'all call it, y'all too. We'll say Lucas Jones motion. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. Thank you very much for being here tonight. We do now have a meeting next week, and we'll be looking forward to joining everybody on May the 2nd. Keep your eye open on some emails for some announcements regarding some press conferences and other items we have coming up. And Commissioner Bronson, you're waving your hand at me, so yes, sir.
I just want a quick announcement. As you all know, to everyone that's here, we will be having the Open Streets House and Avenue event that will take place on May 7th from 1 to 5 p.m. May 7th from 1 to 5 p.m. on House and Avenue. So I'm encouraging all the commissioners to come on out with your skates, skateboards. Al, I know you got some skates over there, so I look forward to seeing you on the floor. That's all I have. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Bronson. All right. If there's no further business that brings us here tonight, everyone be safe, and we look forward to seeing you again at our next meeting. Meeting hereby adjourned.